Thank you very much, gamers. The name is Wattles, and welcome back to Minecraft Snapshot Day, my dudes. Just like clockwork, my dudes, it is Wednesday, Tuesday, my dudes, and we have another snapshot to dive into. Do me a quick favor, if you like the look of my brand new skin, smash that like button. Or if you dislike the Sulfur Cave update, also smash that like button. Today, friend, we have to begin with the Sulfur Cube, because this week, we've got a brand new texture on this mob again. Look at those little eyes, they shine, shimmer in the light now. Oh, it's kind of adorable. Now, intriguingly, this is an undocumented change. They didn't talk about this on the changelog, but yeah, you can see that this texture has received a little bit of updates. Movement-wise, physics-wise, everything seems to be exactly the same. Now, alongside the texture of the big mob, the texture of the baby one has been updated as well. Look at that tiny little shiny eye. It's adorable. Perfect. I still can't actually put a block inside of you. I guess that's just not going to be a thing, but whatever. And Mojang, please, I don't know if you're a Waddle Watcher, but I'm still begging you in this update to make it so maybe we could feed it something, maybe the invisible potion ingredient, and then the cube becomes invisible, and then allow us to feed this thing a wind charge to blow it up into a little bit of a balloon or something, so we can put leads on it and actually have balloon decoration or floating ball minigame. Come on, Mojang. Even if it is only on just like the wool version, dude. The Sulfur Cube has so much potential, I hope they're not just done cooking with this thing. In other news, the Sulfur Cube, go ahead and listen to this thing. We go ahead and do some block things. It's crunchy sounds, but this sound, that's a brand new sound. Bucketing and unbucketing the Sulfur Cube. It's a brand new sound added to the game this week. Moving on from the Sulfur Cube for the most part, in this week's snapshot, intriguingly, we've got some changes to nameplates showing up above players or mobs. We have a brand new attribute that can adjust how far away a nameplate should show up above a mob or any kind of entity in the game. You can input a value anywhere between 0, so no nameplate at all, and 512, which means 512 blocks away, the name shows up. Now hopping over in game to check this one out a little bit more up close and personal. Dear Bonzo, he sits down, I back away. The nameplate doesn't actually change in game here. All of our defaults are going to be exactly the same as they have been, but you can now customize it. This is a very interesting change, thinking about the Sulfur Cube being for minigames and balls, and then they have a change to the scoreboard and how it shows up below the player's name as well. It definitely is setting up all for like minigames and fun stuff like that. At least that's how this reads to me, but I wonder if they'll make it like different functionality too in this update. Alright, now thank you very much. I try to take like more of an informational tone in these videos, but warning, the Sulfur Caves might have actually gotten ruined. So, slider to the ground, Sulfur Cave, Bulfur Cave. Inside of this week's snapshot, we have quite a few changes to Sulfur Cave generation. For 1, some with the spikes. For 2, the blocks. Oh, man, take a look at the Sulfur Cave right here. Inside of this week's snapshot, what Mojang has decided to do is take a Sulfur Cave generation, you know, all the cool brand new blocks, Sulfur Cinnabar, and basically break it up by throwing granite and tuff into the mix as well. Except the catch here is, with this cave generation, when we have granite and tuff now generating more in this biome, they actually can take over the sulfur and cinnabar generation that previously was. This is absolutely terrible. I don't know if this is to try and resolve maybe ore generation issues, but, what? So, like, let me get this straight. We have a brand new cool cave biome with brand new unique blocks, and they said, oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and change that and actually sprinkle in the blocks that you find everywhere all over the world. So now you have something that looks like this. And then with tuff in here as well. I don't know what Mojang was aiming to do with this one. Maybe I have a tuff ore vein right here. Okay, focus, focus. I don't know what Mojang was doing with this one, but this is actually kind of terrible to me. Never mind the problem of just stone, blobs, and deep slate being all over the Sulfur Caves as well still, making it kind of ugly. Here you go. Here's a good example as to what has changed here. there's granite just all over this thing when we would have had sulfur and cinnabar. Dude, if they're gonna add any block to this biome and change the generation, why not actually make this interesting and put calcite all over this biome instead of granite blobs? That's so flipping lame, and it's just like ugly, dude. Or maybe what about some orange sandstone, orange inside of this biome, white inside of this biome, but instead we get more gray blocks and more granite all over. And I think they were teasing this change too. Yeah, so this past weekend, randomly, Minecraft tweeted out, hey, does anybody have some extra granite I can have, as if granite is hard to come by? I thought that was a little sus, but it did kind of go over my head, and then voila, we get a snapshot with even more granite inside of the game, as if anybody really wanted that to happen. I don't get it, man. Mojang was making a really cool biome. Literally could add any other block into this biome. One of these two would look really good here, but goes with two of the lamest options possible. Another change that has happened in this week's snapshot, you could probably notice it here. The spikes are on average a little bit shorter. Now this change, this might be kind of nice. Like moving around in here, we could see that you could actually navigate through this biome in theory a whole lot easier, but the granite and the tuff addition to this biome, overtaking sulfur and cinnabar, also only makes our ore problem even more difficult. See, if you haven't caught this video quite yet, you're going to want to go ahead and check it out, because mining inside of this update, especially with these new changes, you're basically going to want to entirely avoid this brand new biome, which is really, really lame, man. I don't know what Mojang's doing here. They seem lost. So, I'd like to hear what you guys think today. I don't know. What do you like it? Is this good? Like, do you think this biome actually looks better with tuff and granite all over it, or what? I think Mojang is definitely going to need some feedback on this one, and if you don't like this change, now is your chance to make yourself heard, because we only have probably like a month and a half left. Even less time if you want to talk about time to change things and test them out and whatever. Hey, but don't worry, Mojang has added a brand new very important feature this week. The Swiss French language is added to the game. And Chuvash, I hope I pronounced that right, language has been added to the game. So that's pretty cool. Inside of this week's snapshot, we have an intriguing bug fix of a bug that has been in the game for over a year now, involving fishing rods. You see, if I were in-game doing a little bit of fishing for some reason, and then went ahead and scrolled over while the fishing rod was in my hand, well, basically the uncast texture would pop up really quick of the fishing rod, this texture right there. Now, instead of the uncast texture, the line will just zip over to the other side of your screen and then disappear. So they fix it by adding a different bug. It's kind of weird. So this update, right now, it's kind of all about the bouncy mob of all time, specifically the sulfur one, but the slime is kind of related, right? Well, now they've added a brand new entity predicate right here that seems to be for maybe a slime variant or something. They renamed the type-specific slime predicate to type-specific cube mob instead of just slime. So this seems to basically go and encapsulate all of our different cube mobs in general, not just the slime here. But you know, now that I'm taking a look at our cube mobs, it's very interesting that with the slime in survival, we have 3 sizes. With the magma cube in survival, we have 3 sizes. Small, tiny one, where are you? There you are. But then for some reason, the sulfur cube, even though we had those teasers with the other sizes, a larger one, we only have 2 sizes still. This is very weird, Mojang. Last things last today, the snapshot is relatively small, as you can tell. Maybe not good? Mojang has gone ahead and changed the spawning on peaceful difficulty of some nether mobs. Here I am inside of my world. The difficulty is now set to peaceful. On peaceful difficulty, it's documented in the changelog that the Sulfur Cube can now spawn. However, that has been the case for the entire duration of the Java snapshots in this update. But the Hoglin and the Piglin will both now be able to spawn as well, making your nether a little bit more interesting. Now, intriguingly here, if I'm in peaceful and I'm like smacking, whacking a Hoglin around, it doesn't care about me. You know how peaceful Minecraft goes. You know, they don't want to really fight with you. But when these things convert over to whatever they would convert over in the overworld, they will just instantaneously despawn. It's kind of weird, but okay. I don't know, man. Around here, the rule is good vibes only, or at least mainly. But out of all of the snapshots that I have ever covered on this channel, this one has confused me the most. Even more weirdly, the header right here. That's a small cube with a block inside of it, but I can't get that to work inside of the actual game. So I don't know what's going on here, dude. Getting a little bit worried about Mojang, no pun intended, dropping the ball on this update, dude. Hopefully, we'll be back later this week with even more bedrock changes that are exciting. Or next week, we'll have something cool and maybe the biome changes will be fixed. Goodbye.